So after a long time of being really self-disciplined when it came to buying books, because I didn't have a lot of space on my shelves, I moved into the studio, got a new bookcase, and I have been buying books left, right, and center. All of the books you see on this shelf are my workbooks, i.e. they're like non-fiction books about sex, relationships, bodies, and feminism. And then my shelf at home is all of my personal fiction, stories, and literature books. And on my sex and relationships channel, I did a book haul of all of the books that I have bought recently for here. But now I'm gonna show you some of the books that I bought recently for home. And because I'm currently in the office, I basically had to transport books here to do the filming, which is a new thing that I'm getting used to with having like a separate office. I have to like properly plan the videos in advance and make sure I have all of the things that I need. Speaking of which, there is a book in my bag that I brought today that I need to grab. I've also just realized that some of the books that are on this list are non-fiction, but I don't count them as like work non-fiction because they're not about sex and relationships, they're about other topics. Let us first begin with my book haul from Book Bar, which is a new independent bookshop near Finsbury Park. They also have like a coffee shop and a wine bar, and I went with my friend Sana and I picked up some books. It had been a while since I just stepped into a bookshop with no game plan of what I wanted to buy and just browsing and seeing what took my fancy, and I ended up coming away with 4 books that I had heard about and just kept coming up and were around me, people had recommended, and I went for it. First one I picked up was The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is a rom-com. I've decided that I'm gonna call all books that are like labeled as women's fiction or chick lit rom-coms because it was a rom-com. I feel like I've heard so many people talking about this book, but essentially it's about Tiffy and Leon who share a flat, but Leon works night shifts as a nurse and Tiffy works in the publishing industry, and so she works like normal hours, and so they never meet, they never see each other, but they're both living in the same flat and in the same bed and bedroom and all of that. And they leave cute little notes for each other. And honestly, this book was like deeper than I expected it to be. Oh yeah, this isn't just a book haul. I have read some of these already and this is one of them. But it was funny, you're like rooting for them, but it also like tackles a lot of stuff about abusive relationships and trauma. And I was like, oh wow, it's doing that. And I really loved it. The next book I picked up at Book Bar was What White People Can Do Next, From Allyship to Coalition by Emma Dowry. I have heard so many good things about this. I met Emma a while ago for a work thing, and I also heard her speak on Owen Jones's show podcast, and just very excited to dive into this. She's a historian, and so I like having like historical context for things as well. Also, so short, easy to read. Let's do it. The next book I picked up was My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite, and this is just another one that I've heard lots about, and Sana said it's really good, and so I got it. Her sister is a serial killer and she helps her clean up the bodies. I don't know. I love a good thriller. Speaking of thrillers, the next book is Lullaby by Leila Slimani, and it literally just says the baby is dead, it only took a few seconds. And this is another one that I have now read since buying it, and essentially it starts at the end where you know that the nanny has killed these 2 children, like a baby and a toddler, and then it takes you back to the whole story of like the nanny getting the job and like the relationship with the parents and what they're up to and all of this stuff. It's very like weird and slow. I didn't feel like I got that like satisfactory ending that I crave from like thrillers. It wasn't exactly thrilling, but I definitely think it's still a thriller. It's real weird. There's more questions than answers, more mystery. I just don't know. There's no answers. I like my thrillers to have answers, but I did enjoy it, and it's short, but it still took me a while to get through. Maybe this thriller will be a bit more like fast-paced and like what I kind of expect from a thriller. We'll see. We'll see. The next bunch of books that I have are ones that I just kept ordering from my local independent bookshop. They take orders in Twitter DMs. Amazing. So I'll just be like, hi, do you have this book? Can I order this book in? And then they'll be like, it's here. And then I like go and pick them up. I love it. Okay, we have a lot of them. let's go. So in July, it was the Fuckathon, which is a readathon created by Chronicles of Noria on YouTube. She's a small booktuber. I absolutely love her channel. She's amazing. I very much have failed at the Fuckathon this year. Definitely haven't read all of the prompts, but have read a couple and read the group book. So that's a win. So let's do my Fuckathon books first. This isn't for all of the prompts, but some of them. If there was a prompt that was about like fucking with sisterhood, something like that, then I'm gonna say that Reputation by Lex Croucher counts as that prompt. I think there was. Lex is a friend of mine. This is their debut novel. I've started reading it, thoroughly enjoying this romp into Regency era friendship, debauchery, all sorts. We'll find out. I'm only at the beginning. So there you go. That's one of them. The group book that I got is We Do This Till We Free Us by Mariam Kaba, Abolitionist Organizing and Transforming Justice. So this is the group book, but then it also like ticks the box for the fuck the police prompt. I devoured this. It is a bunch of essays that Mariam has like written, like blogs and articles and stuff, and it's just basically a collection of all of those from over the years, with all of the conversations that were like coming out of the US last year in terms of defunding, abolishing the police and prisons and all of this, and then also in the UK with what happened with Sarah Everard, and then also the police crimes courts and sentencing bill that at the time of recording this, I think it's like passed through the House of Commons and is now in the House of Lords, and they're trying to get rid of a lot of our rights to protest. Not good. I was like, I need to understand this a bit more. Like, seeing all over social media and people talking about defunding the police, and I'm one of those people who's like, but how? And like, really? And like, I don't understand. And so when I saw that this was the group book, I was like, okay, now is my time to understand this. And I feel like I do understand a lot more about the abolitionist movement, especially obviously like this is very much a US perspective, but it's given me a lot to think about. Next, one of the other prompts was fuck land borders, and this was a recommendation in one of Noria's videos that she did, and it's Palestine Plus 100 Stories from a Century After the Nakba, and it's a bunch of Palestinian writers, and it's classified as science fiction because they're like fictional stories of the future, although like 100 years after the Nakba is 2048, which is real soon. This was published like only in the last few years, so I'm interested to see what these stories are, and also just interested to hear like from the imaginations of Palestinian writers. If you didn't know, by the way, I'm Jewish, but very much against the occupation. I just feel like putting that out there. So yeah, excited to read this. One of the other prompts was fuck with polyamory, and you had to read something where the main character or main relationship was polyamorous relationship, and I was like, oh, I know some books where there's like, it's on the side, like Pet by Koike Emezi, and then also non-fiction books, but I wanted to read like a story, like a fiction story. So I went to Twitter, and this was recommended to me by somebody, and it is Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This does not look like something that I have ever read before. It's a retelling of Dracula, and it's about all of his wives, and I don't know. Apparently, like, this person who recommended it said that there was polyamory very much in it, but I'm not sure if they were thinking about polygamy, which is kind of the same but different. It's a form of polyamory, I guess. But hey, I will find out if polyamory is a main feature in this book. We'll find out. I ordered the paperback of Hank Green's A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour for as soon as it came out. I have been waiting because I will avoid hardbacks as much as possible. This is the sequel, the follow-up, the second book, the final book after An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I absolutely loved An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. Sci-fi, social media, discussions about fame, adventure, like all sorts of stuff going on. And so this is the follow-up to it, and I'm very excited to read it. And next, this is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. This has been on my TBR for so long. I feel like I heard about it when it first came out, which was a few years ago, 2017, and I've just never gotten around to purchasing it, reading it, or anything. It's about a family whose kid is trans. She's a trans girl. Their youngest child is a trans girl, and it's about their family and then navigating that in, I guess, like their community and the people that they know. I've read lots of books with trans characters in them, but not necessarily one that like focuses on it being a child and the family and everything. So excited to read this as well. And there you have it. That is my book haul for my personal at-home bookshelves. And now I need to take them back home with me. Have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? Are they on your TBR? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna have a good little chat and natter about some books. Thanks so much for watching. Happy reading, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.